for her.
Okay.
So I asked her if she would like to go on a vacation trip to a European country of her choice. And
Well, all right then.
and so we ended up, she decided on.
Yo, what's good, my people? It's your boy Pretty Boy Jay, and I'm back with another banger. Let's get right in. So we're going to take a look at a follow-up video of the Pop the Balloon show involving these two couples. I'm going to first roll out the viral moment when they actually matched on the show, and roll out a follow-up video of what actually transpired after the show. If they actually went on a date, what happened on the date, I mean, who is revealing their true colors and whatnot. All the juice I've got it right here.
Is it gonna be a yes for you for her?
Yes.
And is it a yes for you for him?
Yes.
We are here today with Eric and virtually Jocelyn. Welcome, guys. How are we feeling
Hello.
today?
Yo! Wow. It's about to be interesting.
Feeling good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Jocelyn, how are you?
I'm all right. Doing good. Thank you for asking.
Of course. So we did have you guys on episode, gosh, what episode was that? 12?
12, yeah.
Yeah, episode 12 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you guys did end up matching. Have you guys gone on a date? Have you hung out? All that good stuff?
Yeah, we've gone on multiple dates.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
yeah. we've hung out.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Why do I feel like there's some tension in between these two couples? Because the lady herself, can you guys see her face? Like, she has this moon screw face, you know, like, I don't want to be here kind of face. Like, can we end the show already? Can I just leave already kind of face? Like, guys, can you see that? Wow. Something might have gone wrong somewhere, but like, her whole body language is just off. Like, oh man. But you know what? That's why we are here, right?
You said multiple.
Multiple dates, yeah.
Oh, Jocelyn, you want to hop in there? Let me know about how the first date went?
The first date was really cool. It was right after we had the recording there. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay. Who chose that spot?
I tried to take her, I was looking for a nicer restaurant.
Okay.
But I was really impressed with the fact that she was just happy to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, which I think that told me a lot about her initially. You know,
Okay.
it just says that, yeah, you know, I'm just chill and you don't have to try to impress me.
God. Okay, so she chose Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, well, she saw it and she was like, yeah, let's just go
Oh,
there. So,
okay. And then, so this was right after the shooting, you said?
yeah.
Okay. And then from there, like, how did things go? How'd you guys, like, how was the communication? How'd you go about planning the second date?
Let me let her speak.
Jocelyn?
What's wrong with
I'm sorry.
our lady, bro?
Okay, so after that, we kept in contact. It was a lot of FaceTiming and a lot of just a lot of communication because we live in different states, different time zones, and we also have different schedules as well. So we kept in contact as much as possible. I would call him in the mornings. He would call me between his appointments, like whenever he was working.
Appointments.
What is it called? Appointments. Yeah, so he would call me between. So whenever we had time, we would contact each other, and it worked very well. Our second date was to Dave and Buster's, I believe. I think our second date was Dave and Buster's. He came to Austin, and we had a great time. Yeah.
Okay. So how soon after did you go over to Austin?
Well, we matched on the 1st of June.
Okay.
And so we spent 2 weeks on FaceTime getting to know each other, asking
Yeah.
questions and all that stuff. And then I was traveling, you know, working. And so we ended up, I ended up coming to Austin, I think, on the 26th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Was it 26th? 24th to 26th or so, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, just spent the week beforehand, we were going to do something else.
Okay, so the whole week you were out there in Austin, you guys were kind of like going out, doing different things.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So Dave and Buster's was one of them that you did out there.
Dave and Buster's was the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Any other fun stuff?
Well, she showed me some places that she was fond of. Some place by the, it's like a river. What's the name of that river place that we went to?
It's like Lady Bird Lake. It was like a boardwalk. It was pretty nice. He bought Capri. Capri's like really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. She's allergic to Capri, by the way.
I am.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
I got hives. It was actually really bad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how allergies work.
Immediately.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I broke out in hives after Capri like touched me. It was
Okay, so it was like he had. Sorry, is it a boy or a girl?
That's a girl.
A girl. Okay, so so she had to like touch you in order for that to happen, or was like just like being in the same area?
I really truly, it's never happened to me before. Capri, I don't know how it happened. I was just playing with Capri. Next thing you know, I have like hives all over my arms and my legs. So
did you have to go to urgent care or like it?
I thugged it out a little bit. When I went home, I took a Benadryl and was knocked out. So it was
okay.
It wasn't too bad.
Got it. So that was the first and last time meeting Capri?
Yes. Oh, no. Well, I think you've been around Capri since, right?
Okay.
Probably. I don't know.
You came to the Airbnb to pick me up and stuff, so you would see her at that point. Yeah.
Okay. And it happened again, or you popped a Benadryl beforehand?
No, I kept her away.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, so how was the time in Austin? Like, how was it, like, the time spending with each other, all that stuff?
It was cool. So I think he were downtown. I don't really want to give like where I live, but he was like downtown.
No, don't.
He was a little bit further away from where I was staying. So whenever I got off of work, I would come down and see him. I think we hung out every day for the most part.
Yeah, give or take a couple of days. Well, there was one day actually, I think.
Huh? One day what?
Because you had to go to Houston, remember?
Yeah.
Oh.
My life, that's a story for another day. But yeah, I had to go to Houston. Now, ever since this show aired, a lot of things have been happening. But I did have to go to Houston like one night, and then I came back, and that's the day I didn't see him. But other than that night, yes, I saw him every day.
Like every other day. Wow. Okay, sounds like you guys are spending a lot of time getting to really know each other, all that good stuff. Okay, and then so the week in Austin.
Right.
After that, have you guys kept communication? How was that going?
Yeah, so about 2 weeks in, I was very excited. We were getting to know each other. I had lists and lists upon lists of questions, and every time I met her up, I would ask her all these questions, just trying to get to know her. Okay. And I felt like we had a genuine connection, and it really hit me the fact that she wasn't really interested in like going to like nice places and was just happy to do regular things. So I thought it would be nice to do something special for her.
Okay.
So I asked her if she would like to go on a vacation trip to a European country of her choice. And
well, all right then.
And so we ended up. She decided on Santorini.
Huh? Santorini, Greece?
Damn!
Let me know what you guys think about this, man. Let me know what you guys think about it. Wow. Just in a short period of time, you've not even gotten to know her properly, and you want to drop the vacation bag on her? Wow. In fact, let me do a recap. Okay, so they met on the show. There was a spark interest right there, so they matched. They went on a couple of dates, per the narrative I'm getting. And, she didn't seem to be like the type, that seems to be like a gold digger. Yeah, she's giving genuine interest type of vibe. So, you may be deceived that, this is the green light. Okay. Now it's time for vacation. Wow. All right. Now my question is, will you guys ever do this? To me, I feel it's too early. First of all, you guys don't know if you're actually compatible to each other. you probably, have not, had enough time to yourself to actually know what, what you like, what you dislike, how to resolve some conflicts. If someone should get angry, how do they respond to anger? So many things to consider, bruh. For you to be able to say you're going to drop some couple of dollars on a vacation move, mind you, this is not like going on a restaurant date or a coffee date or anything. This is like flying her out type of dropping the bag. Do you know that cost of flying? Talk less of paying for two people. Oh, you must be worth the surprise, man. Like, well, with all this, let's hope it went well, because from just the beginning of the video, I kind of sense like this is gonna end in a disaster. I don't know, but you know what? Let's just keep watching.
Because she'd always wanted to go there. She'd never been there.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so I planned for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after you guys, you said you got to know each other, speak all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Right away, you were like, all right, pick a European country.
Well,
Like-
I was already traveling, so I was
Okay.
I was on the road. I'd been on the road for a month, and so I was nearing the end of it. And I thought it was coincidental that I was ending up in Austin, and she lived in Austin. So I was saying at the end of this trip, I also need a break. So
Okay.
so it just worked out that way. But
Got it.
yeah, I just wanted to, have fun and go out and do something adventurous together.
Okay, so Santorini, Greece. What made you pick that place? First of all, let me backtrack. Were you shocked that, someone who you just met was asking you like, girl, let me take you out of the country? Like, how was that?
It was definitely a shocking question. I haven't been asked that so early within like knowing a person.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it was a love bomb, but hey, like I'm here for the delusion regardless. But I had a great time. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess obviously at that time, I know you said you don't want to say it was a love bomb, but obviously you were comfortable enough to be like, okay, I'll be okay with going out the country with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then so once you guys, got to Greece, how was that? Like, first of all, how was traveling together? Because like, I know a lot of people are always like, man, traveling with someone really shows you how they are, all that stuff. Like, how was that?
That is, to be fair, why I did it.
Okay.
Was because we were getting to know each other, and so I was thinking to myself, let's. It's not to say that we're speeding it up, but it's just to like know for sure.
Okay.
And I've had this experience before, where you travel with someone, and through that experience, you get to really see, the literal shits and the metaphorical shits of who they are, and they get to see you as well. And so I think at that point you can make more certain decisions.
I don't know if you need to travel and spend thousands of dollars to get to know someone. Probably not. I'm just saying, like, do you need to? Like, do you need to? What happened to coffee date? What happened to restaurant date? What happened to going to the park, kind of the like simple date, like let's go to a food truck type of date? Let's go for hiking, like things that involves activities, that you don't have to spend like thousands of dollars. Because mind you, a date has to be a time where you can literally have time to talk. And out of that, the person gets to reveal herself or himself to you, get to know the happy moment, yeah, and all that. Both positive and negative might be revealed but do you need to spend thousands of dollars? But from the narrative I'm getting, it's not like it was a primary decision he actually made. It was just like he actually wanted a vacation, to himself. And he was like, you know what? Can you come along? Hop on, come along. Let's go have a time of our life. I'm already even in a vacation mood already. So let's go. So I understand him from that perspective. But again, do you need to spend thousands of dollars to get to know someone? I'm just saying. Probably not. Personally, I ain't doing that.
It's about to proceed or not.
Okay.
To proceed.
So in the beginning, the traveling there, that was good for you guys. Like how, Jocelyn. I guess we'll start with you, Jocelyn. She's shaking her head.
No, traveling there was great. We weren't really sitting next to each other all the time.
It's a booking error.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But overall, it was a great experience.
What, the traveling was a great experience, or the whole trip altogether?
I was specifically talking about like the traveling there part. It was pretty cool. It was nice.
Okay.
It wasn't like any issues traveling there.
Got it. Okay. So now once you guys have gone to Greece, did you guys have like a whole itinerary planned? Like who did the itinerary planning? I feel like you like to do that kind of stuff. Or
I deferred to her. I wanted to give her some options and see what she was into. But I think we tried to keep it loose so that every day would feel to some degree like a new adventure,
Okay, so you guys didn't do too many like activities, or you didn't plan too much? Kind of.
I had an idea of an activity for each day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was definitely food involved. Restaurants.
I hope so.
Restaurant dates and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, walk me through the trip. Like, what'd you guys do? How did it go?
Well, the first day we just went to a restaurant down from where we were staying, and we had a very nice apartment overlooking the city. Watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. It was really nice. We went on a boating trip to see some of the tinier islands.
Okay.
And I was just different restaurants.
Okay.
Really, yeah.
Nice.
Rented an ATV, and that's how we got around.
Very cool. So you had the ATV for the whole duration of the trip?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that was.
Yeah. No, over there you could just ride ATVs. Like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I know
cool.
I haven't been to Greece, but every time I look at Greece and other people's videos, I just see like a bunch of hills and houses on top of houses.
Yeah. No, it's tough to navigate for sure.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, dang, how y'all riding an ATV out there?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously, Jocelyn, you chose the place. So did you have things in mind already that you're like, okay, when we get there, we have to do this? And were you guys able to do them?
Yeah, everything I wanted to do, we did. There was this area, like this town called Oya. It's where most of the houses are white, but there's a few blue tops, like blue.
Oh,
blue.
I've seen that. Yeah.
That was the main thing I wanted to do. So we saw that, and it was nice. We watched the sunset from there.
Okay. And obviously, I can tell with the viewers and everyone and here I can feel that there's quite a lot of tension going on. So how did that trip end? Or
why are you always trying to get to
let's get to it, because I'm feeling a lot of vibes right now, and I don't know if it happened on the trip, after the trip, or who wants to start it off?
We had our very first argument on the 29th.
Not you remembering the date.
Well, I'm a very detailed person.
Okay.
I take a lot of notes. I try to be introspective, so it wasn't really a big deal, but should I talk about it, or?
I would just like to say that we realized on this trip that we're not as compatible as we thought we were. We just had disagreements, and we just realized that we're great people, we're just not great for each other. And I personally would like to leave it at that.
Even I will be fair, I will be honest, I am to some degree stumped at the decision not to continue. And we've spent a lot of time throughout the argument working through the reactions, but never really addressing the initial cause. And it did start off with her just saying she wants to leave. And
The first disagreement, she said,
that was the second disagreement. The first disagreement was when I came to her place.
Austin.
The first time, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, I was staying at an Airbnb, but on the last day, I decided we were going to go over there and pack and stuff. But everything was everywhere, messy. She seemed like she was doing a lot, so I wanted to step in and help. So I was going in to move some shoes around, and then she reprimanded me, I guess is the way to say it, and just like that would piss her off for me to move stuff around. And so
did you ask her before you just started moving
well
stuff?
I didn't.
Okay.
but that's the thing is, I didn't want to make a big deal of it. She asked me to take the trash out.
Okay.
And I did. But I also felt like she had said to me that she would like to keep an open space, a safe space where I could just tell her things in the moment. So I think for me it was also a good point to test that out. Is it okay for me to tell you that the way you're saying that to me made me feel some type of way?
Okay.
So
so obviously you guys worked through that
worked through it. Yeah.
You went to Greece afterwards still, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and we talked about it a bit at the airport, and then we went on a trip. Everything was great up until I think the fifth day or so. I don't want to go into too many details just out of respect to her as well.
Yeah.
But I think that at some point I also, she wants to go slow, which is fine. I was trying to be respectful of that as a boundary, but I felt that I'd been just going on at her speed for most of the time. So I also wanted to set some boundaries to help me respect her boundaries. So I think that's where the initial communication malfunction occurred, perhaps. And to backtrack, I when people argue, everyone argues a certain way. My way of calming down is to take breaks and move away and relax, write things down, and then come back and talk about them. And I told her this in the beginning. We were trying to figure out our argumentative styles. So when this happened, I took a break and I went to sit on a stoop. And so while I was there just talking to a friend of mine, she sent me a text that she wanted to leave and asked if I could take her to the airport.
This is in Greece.
Yeah, that was in Greece,
okay.
Like about the fifth day or so.
Wow. This guy just dropped the bag on her, and just a little argument, she's just like, I wanna be out of here. Like, I wanna leave, pack my bags and leave, just like that. Simple argument, you can resolve it. After dropping all this bag on you, the best solution you thought of is to resort to a final decision to pack your bags and leave. Oh man. This must be painful, man. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. Leave just like that. Wow. Just even before the trip ended. And
so I was just like, well, we have an ATV, first of all, so I can't drive you to Greece. But I didn't want to do it. I said, if you want to go, you can go. But I asked her not to go. I said, just take a moment, calm down, relax, and then you can decide later on. So that was kind of where things started spiraling.
Okay, so Jocelyn, Eric kind of touched on a bit that at one point during the trip, I believe you said on the fifth day, you said that, yeah, I'm leaving, all that stuff. What led you to come to that point?
What led me to come to that point was how we disagreed. We said words that were hurtful to each other. And I held grudges against him, which caused me to be uncomfortable while being there. and I didn't want to be uncomfortable on a vacation when it's supposed to be a good time. The way we handled the situation in general just showed ourselves. Like I showed off, he showed off, and then it just wasn't a comfortable environment to be in, especially for it to be in a different country and we don't really know each other. I just didn't feel at ease being there for more days with him. So I felt like at the time, the best way to get out of an uncomfortable situation is to leave.
If you were uncomfortable, I mean, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Probably you were so uncomfortable, like, you know, high ablazed with anger, and you can't control yourself to the fact that, like, to resort to a meaningful conversation and resolve this issue. And all you could think about is just straight up, I'm out of here. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying, she's giving me the vibe of like, she's the type that is just going to cut you off just out of a little misunderstanding, and you're not going to hear from her. Let me know what you guys think, man. Let me know what you think about this.
I'm not saying that was the best decision. Maybe I could have stayed and talked to him and talked it out, but at the time, I did what felt right to me.
Okay. And so you did actually end up leaving?
Yes, I left.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then so after you left, have you guys been in any type of contact, any communication? You have?
Yeah, so after we left, Eric still had to come back to my apartment because we shared a suitcase coming there. So he still came back to my apartment. We talked it out. We hugged, like, we had like every discussion, every disagreement we had, we talked about off camera, and I've apologized, he's apologized. A lot of things were already discussed. So when he came back to the apartment, like, it was fine. At least in my head, it was fine. I walked him to the door. It was cool. Like, in my head, it was cool. And even afterwards, when he flew back to Las Vegas, I checked on him to make sure he landed safely, making sure he's getting sleep. He told me has more appointments. So we did keep in contact for the day after when we landed back in the States.
Okay, I see here. Jocelyn, you stated, like, you know, you guys were having disagreements. You were saying, like, hurtful things to one another, all of that. How was it, like, dealing with those disagreements?
It was aggravating. We were disagreeing on things that we were disagreeing about the boundaries that we both set for each other, which was just very childish on both of our end. But after that, we chose to react off of our emotions at the time. So, in the morning time, I didn't really think that the situation was as bad as it was. But in the morning time, like, Eric had, like, left, and I think you were doing laundry. I mean, he had things to do. I don't really want to say he was just up and left, but just that entire day, for the most part, we didn't really speak. It was either he was in the room and I was in the living room, or he was out shooting footage, or he was out doing laundry. So we just really weren't talking on the day after we had that huge disagreement. It was to the point, it was almost as if we were avoiding each other. And it was just weird.
So you got up the next day and just says,
well, I told her beforehand that I had to do laundry. I'd run out of clothes. I travel with a bag, you know. Mm-hmm. So I went out to do laundry. I went out running 3 miles up the hill. I was tired. When I came back, I went to bed. But before I went to bed, we'd made a plan, something she wanted to go see about 5 p.m. or so.
Okay.
And I'd slept through it. And when I woke up, I asked her, hey, you still want to go do that thing? And she's like, no. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, well, if you don't mind, I'm going to go and shoot some pictures or something. Mm-hmm. I'd lost the key to the apartment. Mm-hmm. So I had to go back and look for it. So that's what I did instead. Mm-hmm. So I was going back to the location where I'd run to. Mm-hmm. I found the key, I came back. And that's then where we had another set of conversations. Okay. Because she kind of called me to the couch and like, hey, what's going on? you know? And so I told her, I was like, there's nothing's wrong. I'm fine. I just feel like I have to be a bit more distant about cuddling and, you know, kissing, because it feels sometimes when I try to do it, it seems like you're uncomfortable. You kind of back away.
Okay.
You know, she wants to kiss, she doesn't want to make out, you know, things like that. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to be too overbearing. So I'm going to kind of create a little bit of a boundary. Still want to go do things, you know, but she didn't wake me up, and she said that I should have set an alarm. So, you know, I called her passive. I said that was a passive statement because we're in this together. So, you know, wake me up. And yeah.
So all of this was before she said, I'm leaving?
No, she'd already said she was leaving in the afternoon.
Okay.
So she just decided. I mean, this is literally, I went outside to take a break, and she sent me a text, I'm going to the airport. It was so abrupt, it caught me off guard. So I was like, you know, like, what's this nonsense? The Nigerian in me came in, and I was like, you know, I don't understand what you mean you're leaving. Go take a break and relax. If you want to get an Airbnb, go get an Airbnb. You don't leave, you know, there's nothing to leave.
So how long did you guys have this trip booked for?
7 days.
Wow.
7 days, okay. And then Jocelyn, you ended up leaving on the 5th day. Or the 6th day, or what day was it?
Was it the 4th? Was it the 5th day?
6th.
I left on the 6th day? Okay.
You left on the 6th day, yeah.
I see. Okay, so with him, with that thing you guys wanted to do, you didn't want to just like wake him up, or what was going on with that part?
So, we already knew that there was tension before then. Before he took the nap, before everything, like the big argument happened the day before. So when he went to sleep, I don't know, it's like, I don't really know how to explain it. I could have woken him up, to answer your question. I could have woken him up. However, it was already talked about what I wanted to do. It was already a time that we set. I don't know, I'm just considerate. So if I would have done that to somebody else, or somebody else would have planned something that they really wanted to do and they're dependent on me for transportation, I would have made sure that I was present for that moment. And I never woke Eric up ever. I don't wake people up out of their sleep. I would hate for somebody to wake me up out of my sleep. We actually talked about this as well. Like, that's something that we just don't do.
Oh, that's different.
I don't wake people up. That's one thing I don't like. If you oversleep, like, you oversleep. Like, it wasn't a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he overslept, then he overslept. I was upset back in the day, like, we didn't go to something I wanted to do. Okay, like, it was fine.
So would you say like that was like the last straw for you, him oversleeping?
No, the last straw was the day before. I don't really know. So with me, it's like once my mind is made up on something, it's pretty much made. So when I booked the flight, it was kind of like already like anything he did after that was kind of like, okay, I see, and I'm leaving soon anyway.
On this 7-day trip, or 6, I think you said you left on the 6th, on what day did you realize, yeah, this is it for me, I'm done?
That's a great question. It wasn't, let me see, give me a second. I don't really remember what day it was when it hit me like I'm done. It was just a feeling that I had when I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not arguing anymore. I'm not being upset anymore. You know, it wasn't necessarily like, oh, this day I got mad. It was just really like a feeling like, I don't want to feel like this. I don't have to feel like this, you know? So that's really what happened. I don't know what day that was. I really don't know. It was probably the day I booked the flight, to be honest, but I just had a feeling. I'm like, I don't want to argue with this man anymore. I don't want to be uncomfortable in a foreign country with this man anymore. So that's really what it was. But afterwards, I didn't want to have a dating relationship with Eric anymore, because I think Eric can still be a great person. So I was hoping that we can have a platonic, just cordial friendship afterwards. I know I didn't want to date him anymore, but I didn't want it to be as if he's out of my life completely, because he is cool. Like, Eric is a cool guy. Like, honestly, he's cool. He has a lot of skills, plays instruments. He's a really cool guy, honestly. He has a lot of great qualities about himself. I just didn't want to date him anymore, so yeah.
Okay. Eric, anything you want to add to that? If we could just wrap this up.
I take notes, so I have the dates. July 5th was the day we went to dinner. It was the day that we had a conversation. You asked me to tell you what my expectations were of you. I told you that I would like more hugs. I said you're bad at hugs. Remember that? So she said, yeah, I'm gonna work on that, you know. And I told her that I felt like every time I gave her hugs, maybe she was feeling like it was trying to lead to something else. I'm like, no, the hug is really just a hug. Like, just put your arm around my head, and that's all it needs to be, you know.
You knew it that this girl was not into this guy, man. To the point where you now have to coach her on how to hug you? Oh, brother. She's not interested in you. Oh, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Probably that is not her love language, you know, touchy and all that. But generally speaking, are you telling me for a fact that if this lady should, you know, see her favorite, you know, artist, let's say the Chris Browns, the Ushers, you know, are you telling me she's not going to be wrapping around, you know, the artist left, right, center? To the extent that to go for a show and even mount a stage and dance for the artist? What are we talking about here? To the point where now you have to coach her on how to hug you? Brother. She know they like you, my brother. She know they like you. Nah, generally speaking, if a lady is interested in you, I don't think you need to coach her on how to hug you. She's but let me know what you guys think, man.
And so she's like, yeah, I'll do better, and that was that. The dinner was great. The next morning is when I went for the run early, and I wake up early, I go for the run. So when I came back, she wanted to have a conversation that afternoon because she said things were seeming weird and I seemed distant. So I was trying to explain to her why I was distant. First of all, I was tired, but second of all, I'm just trying to give you some space, and I don't want to feel like I'm overcrowding you, essentially. And it was literally within 20 minutes of that conversation, she sent me the text, can you take me to the airport? So it came out of nowhere, literally.
Okay. All right. Well, after this trip, did you guys, I know you said, did you guys communicate at all after this trip, or was she left and that was it? I think you had mentioned you guys shared a suitcase, so eventually you had to see him again. So how did that happen?
It was cool, like, honestly. So from everything that we just expressed to us getting back to Austin, we had conversation. Everything seemed fine. We came to understanding that we both said things that didn't need to be said. We both did things that didn't need to be done. Like, we've had conversations and everything was fine in my eyes. I thought everything was fine. When we got back to Austin, we talked about the trip. We said our goodbyes. He got his stuff, walked him to the door. He left. Yeah, and the next day he took a flight. I checked on him. I was like, hey, are you at the airport? Did you make it there on time? He was like, yeah. It was just regular conversation, as if you're checking in on a person who's taking a flight. That's really what it was. I made sure he landed.
But meanwhile, I was like, why are you checking in on me after you've just walked away from me? You know, like, I'm like, the thing was weird to me, because I was like, if this is a simple disagreement two people can have, we've apologized to each other, so we continue. It's 2 arguments is not enough to decide you don't want to speak to someone anymore. So
in your head, after that trip, and you know, after she was checking in on you, you were still in the thought process that you guys were still dating?
After the I'm sorry, I forgive you. I forgive you. I thought, okay, yeah, we're back on track. We've sorted it out.
Okay. So how did you find out that you guys are no longer dating?
Well, she sent me some pictures to edit. I edited the pictures. I sent them back to her. She went to London, which we by the way, we had a whole day because she booked the trip at 6 p.m. on the 6th. So we had still the whole day to spend together. We were sitting on the couch. We were cuddling on the couch.
This
finally.
is in Austin?
No, this was still. This
so
was
you're
the day after.
backtracking back to
I'm
Greece.
backtracking, yeah. So she's already had a decision to leave. She's already bought the tickets. There's nothing we can do about that.
Okay.
We've apologized to each other. She's more calm. I'm more calm. So from that point on, I'm like, okay, well, maybe everything's fine.
Okay.
So the next day, when the day the 6th, yeah, the day she's leaving, we're still cuddling on the couch. Like we watched a movie together. We went to breakfast. So that's where the confusion is, because it's like, if you're that angry, why are you so comfortable still being next to me, still cuddling with me? See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it just creates a lot of confusion for me.
From Austin to Las Vegas, she said obviously she's checking on you, make sure you get there okay. In your head, everything's still good.
No, when I got to her apartment, I had to ask her one last time. I'm like, tell me straightforward. Are we still good? Are we not good? Are we not dating?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I have no interest in further dating. So I was like, all right, sounds good. I won't bring it up anymore.
Got it. So that was the last point.
From that point on, yeah, I was done. But the next morning, she's still checking on me on my flights. So again, you see what I'm saying? I'm like, if we're done, why are you checking on me?
I mean, she said she thinks you're a cool person.
I understand, but
You're a human being that she cared for at one point.
I'm not looking for no friends. I got plenty female friends that are just my friends.
Okay.
So it's like, if we're not dating, like,
so you want to just
cut the losses and move on.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah, which is what I tried to do. I just didn't respond anymore, and I was just, just letting it fizzle out. It's only been a month. That's not, anyone can recover from that. There's no hard emotional investment.
Okay. All right. Well.
All right, guys. So there you have it. They just squeezed 3 years into 30 days. Shit. I mean, wow. Now, the bigger question here is, don't you think it was too early? I'm just saying, don't you think it was too early? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think it was a right move for Eric to, go up? Even the lady herself was like, she had not even been asked as early in a relationship to go on a vacation like that. So even to her, it came as a so that alone, stamps the fact that it was early. It was way too early, just in 30 days and vacation and all that. And then again, what do you think about the ladies, thought process on handling issues like relating to her decision making on the trip and all that? And how about Eric? Do you think Eric, like, what went wrong? What did Eric do wrong? What did the lady also do wrong? What could have been done best? What could have been the perfect thing for them to, make this whole trip a remarkable one and a successful one? But to me, I don't think they were a good fit. That is the truth. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think they were a good fit. I'm just saying, but I don't think they were a good fit. But hey, I still want to hear from you, on what you actually think about this whole thing. Because dropping the bag on a lady and she telling you she just want to bounce and take off just like that, just out of a little misunderstanding, and just forget about the fact that you have spent a lot of money on her with good intentions and all that. Just forget about all that and just take a quick decision just like that. What does that tell you about such a person? Let me know in the comment section, man. Until then, I'll see you guys. It's your boy, Putty Boy J. I'm out.